let's talk about something. Come on in, have a seat, sit down, get comfortable. Let's talk about something. Something that we definitely need to talk about more often. And some changes need to be made. I have never seen so many women in my life talk about they don't need a man, they don't want a man, they don't need a man for anything. They rather be single moms. Like, that's a big flex. They rather put the man on child support than be with the man or have the man in the household. You mean to tell me? I seen a post that said a guy had went around asking women, would they rather have child support, the check, or have the man around? And most of these women said they'd rather have the check. Most of the comments that was under this post said they'd rather have the check than the man. I think this changed about, I'm going to say the last 20 years, it changed dramatically. Where we have this idea, we have this thing in our minds, in our head, that the man is not important. He's not needed. We don't need him in the household. We don't need him in his children's lives. We'll just take a check and we're cool with that. We're okay with that. Not speaking me in general, just in women in general. All of you who think that the correct answer to that question would be you'd rather have a check than have the man in the household. Do you know how important it is for a child to have both parents? I get it. Most of y'all probably didn't have y'all fathers in y'all household. Most of y'all was raised by single moms. So you think that that's the correct way to do that. You think that the way your mama did it was right. Well, I'm here to tell you today it wasn't. It was incorrect. If that man was not a abuser, as far as physically abusing, abusive, raping you, toxic at his most worst. Because other than that, anything is workable. Anything can be worked out because you lay down and have kids with him. The last thing you should be doing is putting that man out and then not having that man in the household. Do you know how you're steady destroying these children by not having that man in the household? You know, back in the day when I was growing up, you know, it was almost a prize. It was well, a woman would love to tell a child if they was acting up at home or they got into something and they weren't paying attention to mom. Just wait till your dad get home. And the kid knew when you said that, oh, it was some trouble gonna come behind that, because dad was gonna get home and put some structure in place, and dad was gonna get home and get in your you know what. Now, that's out the window. And you know, it started right around the time where they had women believing that it was better to push that man out of the house, take a welfare check, settle for that, and keep him out of the house. I believe that's when that started. And it was the most detrimental time of our lives because it has carried on generation after generation over and over again. And y'all think it's a flex to keep that man out the house. Y'all think it's a flex to put that man on child support, take a check, and let those children grow up without their fathers. Children need both. I don't know how many times, how many languages. Children need mom and dad. They're equally as important. Why do you think it takes two to make a child? If it was that case, then you could have a child by yourself. You could make a child all by yourself if the man wasn't important and the man wasn't needed. Oh, he's needed when you want to have sex. He's needed when you're horny, when your hormones raging, but he's not needed to help raise that child. That tells me that you need to keep your legs closed and stop sleeping around with any and everybody if you feel like that man is not important, if you feel like that man is a deadbeat, and if you feel like that man is a horrible man. You chose him. You chose that man. And yet you want to talk about him, keep him out the house. But you want his money, though. You want to put him on child support and get his money. You'll take his check. His money's good enough, but he's not good enough. What kind of mess? Who in their right mind would think that that's cool to just take a check and say, you know what, we don't need you. Go on about your life, go on about your business. We'll be just fine. And let me give you a hard reality check. You might be getting a check, but it's still going to be hard. You got to raise them kids by yourself. You got to struggle by yourself. You got to do it all by yourself. And last time I checked, you can't do it all by yourself. That's why it takes two. That's why it takes two. What you can't do, the dad can do. When you get tired, when you have a hard time, you need the rest, you stress, the dad can step in. But now y'all want to push and negate him out totally just for a check. Boy, say. It has got to stop. These children are suffering. They're growing up without a dad. They're growing up to be violent, to be angry, all because you chose a check over that man. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. And start family planning. Stop just having, if you stop having sex with anybody and just having kids with anybody, you'd be okay. You wouldn't have to just settle for a check and put that, you know, there is so many women who feel like a man is not needed. And it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That man is needed. That man is important. He is important. Those kids, he's very important to those kids. We got to stop it. Y'all have got to change this mindset that it's cool to just have a baby by yourself. Women are even go get in vitro, go get artificial insemination, have a kid without a man even being in the household. It is the dumbest shit to date. You cannot, yeah, you can do it, but you're going to struggle. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to depend on other people. Man, listen, it's not healthy for these children not to have both parents in the household. I don't know how many times I can say it. I don't know how many ways I can say it. It is not healthy for these children to just have you. Boy, gotta get that out y'all minds. Young ladies, it is not cool. It's not healthy. Maybe everybody just should stop sleeping with one another. Men, stop even giving these women your children. Stop having sex with them. You do wear a condom. I get you. Everybody have hormones, but something has got to change, or generation after generation, this mess is going to continue to carry on, and you can continue to think that it's cool to raise a child without a man, and it's not cool. You're creating so much anger, animosity, hurt in those children, and you should know it, because I'm sure you was raised by a single mom too. So stop it. It's not cool. It's not okay. That man is important. And y'all put the men on child support that want to be in the kids' life. Been there since day one, but because it didn't work out with you, because he didn't do something you liked, because he yelled, because, man, this shit has been going on forever. No relationship is going to be perfect. It's going to be problems with everybody you get with. You're going to trade one flaw for another flaw. That's what you're going to do. Keep on doing that. You're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. You're going to be single for the rest of your life. Die alone. That's not how this shit was meant to be, period. Y'all need to cut it out. Cut it out.